It is the best time of the year. We are just hours away from the Packers kicking off training camp for the 2025-2026 season. I'm John Miller. To my left is our new NBC 26 Packers insider, Paul Bretl. Paul, thanks for joining us this season.
Yeah, appreciate it, John. Happy to be here.
How long have you been covering the Packers so far? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Since the 2022 season, cover the Packers for ESPN Lacrosse, write for the site, pop on the radio regularly throughout the week, and training camp this time of the year, one of my favorite parts about it.
Yeah, Paul is one of my favorite Packers writers. He's fun to follow. He breaks down the game really well. What's your excitement level for this upcoming season? I mean, this is a team entering year 3 with Jordan Love as a starter. I'm super pumped. A lot of guys, a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this season unfolds in training camp. The competitions, the positional battles, the pads come on, the intensity turns up, and the buzzword this offseason around this Packers team has been urgency. They know the talent that's on this roster, the potential that's on this roster. Now it's about recognizing it.
Yeah, during minicamp and OTAs, they were talking about Super Bowl. Was it, they're like, hey, we want to win the North, but it's the Super Bowl this season, so we'll see if they can get it done. But before we dive into maybe some of our favorite position battles this season, we got to talk a little bit about Elton Jenkins. I mean, he's the Packers' maybe best offensive lineman. Zach Tom's up there, but right now he's on the NFI list. He is moving from left guard to center. Wants his contract kind of redone. Is it a panic level if he holds out a few days, or do you expect this thing to kind of get resolved? What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
I mean, if you're the Packers, you want this obviously taken care of sooner than later. You want Elton Jenkins on the field at center, him and Jordan Love getting those valuable reps together, but being on the NFI list, he can return at any point once he's cleared. And like you mentioned, the big move this season is from guard to the center position for him with the addition of Aaron Banks in free agency. And if we look around the NFL landscape, how players are played at the center position compared to guard or even the tackle spot is vastly different. So Elton Jenkins, who has 2 years left on his contract, none of that money is guaranteed at this point, I think is looking for a little additional job security that comes with this move to center.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not showing up, it's probably going to be Sean Ryan. And Sean Ryan's a pretty good player himself, but Elton Jenkins is an established veteran. It's a position he played in college. I'm excited to see what he can provide at center this season, especially in the run game. Great run game blocker. But Paul, there's some great positional battles. What's your favorite one heading into this training camp? Because, man, I love watching position battles during training camp.
Yeah, I know all eyes naturally we're going to focus on the wide receiver position, right? But me, I'm looking at left tackle. Rasheed Walker versus Jordan Morgan for that starting job at one of the most important positions in the game. Rasheed Walker, he's been a Packers starter for pretty much the last 2 seasons and has provided them with a very steady presence there. Jordan Morgan, first-round pick in 2024. We know played right guard mostly last season with Sean Ryan. Season was cut short due to injury, but his natural position is left tackle. That's where he played during his career at Arizona, and a differentiator for him. One of the aspects of his game that drew the Packers to him during the pre-draft process, his athleticism, his ability to operate in space, and as we all know, it's an important part of playing the tackle position.
Yeah, Jordan Morgan, I mean, as Matt LaFleur always says, the best 5 are going to start. So Jordan Morgan could still play right guard this year. Sean Ryan can play right guard. Left tackle, it could be Anthony Belton. No one really knows. It'll be the best 5 out there. So I'm excited to see the offensive line shake out as well. But the thing I'm looking forward to, and you just said it's got to be the wide receiver battle, because for so long we've been talking about Bo Melton, Malik Heath. Those guys are probably on the bubble this year. What's your thoughts on the wide receivers heading into this training camp?
Yeah, I think one of the big things we're going to watch for is obviously who emerges at the top of that depth chart, right, where the Packers are searching for consistency. You have Matthew Golden added to the mix, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Jaden Reed. But to your point, that already makes up 4 spots on the depth chart. They drafted Savion Williams in the 3rd round. There's 5 spots taken up. At a position where 5 or 6 players are typically kept on the final roster, that leaves a Bo Melton, a Malik Heath competing for potentially that final roster spot. So it's not only at the top of the depth chart, who's making plays, where's those opportunities coming from with the first-team offense, but on the back end as well when it comes to the shaping of the 53-man roster.
And it comes to the end of the roster spots. I mean, I love Malik Heath. I love Bo Melton. They're very fun to watch play, but I think fans kind of value our wide receiver core a little more than maybe the outside world does. If those guys maybe didn't make the team, the Packers could still get them back on the practice squad so they could still be Packers, but it's going to be a fun battle this season. The one thing I wanted to ask you about that I wanted to touch on was, let's talk about the safeties. Evan Williams, I mean, he was a heat-seeking missile last year. Nobody really expected him to take over that role next to Xavier McKinney. Everybody expected Bullard to, because he was, higher draft profile. But he really inserted himself next to McKinney, and he took over that spot, and he really seemed to win it over. Is it a battle between him and Bullard again this year? Or do you think Williams goes into it being the guy?
I think it's going to be very much a positional battle between those two, because if we look at the nickel position where Bullard was playing, you now have added versatility there. We know Keyshawn Nixon can play inside. Nate Hobbs, who they signed in free agency, can play inside as well. They want to get Carrington Valentine in the mix at the cornerback spot. So in order to get those three on the field, someone has to be inside. So then that moves Bullard to the nickel, where he's competing with Evan Williams. I think overall, what we need to keep in mind with the secondary as a whole is the versatility. That can be this group's superpower. There's going to be a lot of mixing and matching within that secondary by Jeff Hafley based on who's the opponent, what matchups do we want to play, what adjustments do we need to make. And so I think potentially week to week, and sometimes even within a game, we're going to see Bullard next to McKinney. We're going to see Williams next to McKinney. We're going to see Bullard in the slot. That mixing and matching, like I said, can be a real superpower for this group.
Another thing I want to touch on is another guy on the injured list or the PUP heading into it is Quay Walker. I mean, there seems to be maybe some concern. I know LaFleur made it seem like in the offseason that's not a big deal, but if Quay's not able to go, you got Isaiah Simmons, McDuffie. What do you think of the guys behind Quay that could fill in alongside Edgerrin Cooper?
Yeah, this is a super talented linebacker room that the Packers have, and I think a big part of it, too, is the continuity of going into the second season. A year ago at this time, the linebackers, the defense as a whole, they were learning a brand new defense, a brand new system under Jeff Hafley. But now there's that comfort, that understanding of what their roles are within the specific defense, how to react to what the offense is throwing at them. So that in itself is going to be a big catalyst for this group. Player-wise, Isaiah McDuffie provides stability at that position. Edgerrin Cooper's the playmaker. And then you get Isaiah Simmons in the mix as well, who brings a bit of a do-it-all presence to that position group. And him focusing solely on the linebacker position, I think, is a way for the Packers to hopefully help him elevate his game and hit that next level.
If there's a guy that can maybe unlock Simmons, I think it's got to be Jeff Hafley, right? He seems to get the best out of everybody or play to those guys' strengths, and I think we saw that last year. Another thing I wanted to touch on before we get out of here is the running back group. They got 4 guys who probably can be either number 1s or 2s on most rosters. I mean, Josh Jacobs, of course, but you had Marshawn Lloyd back in the mix, Chris Brooks, Emmanuel Wilson. How do you see that shaping up? Because I don't think they're going to get rid of Marshawn Lloyd.
No, they're not. I mean, we know there's Josh Jacobs, like you said, at the top of the depth chart, but a really, really talented room. And each of those backs, Marshawn Lloyd, Emmanuel Wilson, Chris Brooks, they each bring a different skill set to the equation. You know, Marshawn Lloyd's his burst, his juice with the ball in his hands. Emmanuel Wilson's been really efficient as a ball carrier. Chris Brooks filled a bit of a do-it-all role last year, standing out in pass protection, lining up across the formation.
Love Chris Brooks.
They absolutely do. So there's going to be a good competition there, and potentially one of those players between Wilson and Chris Brooks isn't going to be on the 53-man, because getting 3 running backs touches in a game is already a difficult task, let alone having 4 on the roster. So that's a big positional battle to keep our eyes on. It's not just playing time, but potentially a roster spot.
If you want the rock, you got to block. I think it comes down to Wilson and Brooks. Who's going to block better? Wilson is not as good as Brooks, according to running backs coach Ben Sermons right now, or that's the way he makes it seem. He always makes it seem like Wilson's got to block just a little bit better, but he's a stud. I love watching him play. Brooks was fun to watch last year. We'll see how that all shapes up. But Paul, thank you so much for your time. Excited to have you on this year. It's going to be a blast. The 2025-2026 Green Bay Packers season is going to be a fun one, and hopefully we get to cover it all the way until February. For Paul Bretl, I'm John Miller from Lambeau Field, NBC 26 Sports.